What if you could see and hear the past, as if you were watching a TV show? What if you could witness the crucifixion of Jesus, the death of Julius Caesar, or the Last Supper of Leonardo da Vinci? This is what Father Pellegrino Ernetti, a Catholic priest, a Benedictine monk, a musicologist, and a physicist, claimed to have done with the device he called the Chronovisor. But was he telling the truth, or was he part of a hoax? This is the question that has intrigued and baffled many people for decades. In this video, we will try to unravel the mystery of Father Ernetti and his Chronovisor, and explore the evidence, the controversies, and the implications of his extraordinary story. The story begins in the 1960s, when Father Ernetti revealed that he had created a time machine which allowed him and a team of 12 scientists, including Nobel laureate Enrico Fermi and NASA engineer Wernher von Braun, to observe and record the past. He said that the Chronovisor was a machine that could tune into the electromagnetic radiation left by past events and display them on a screen, like a television. He also said that the machine could capture the sounds and images and store them on reels of film. He claimed that he had used the Chronovisor to see and hear historical and biblical scenes, such as the trial of Socrates, the Sermon on the Mount, the founding of Rome, and the coronation of Napoleon. He also said that he had a photograph of the face of Christ taken during his passion as a proof of his invention. Father Ernetti's story was first published by an Italian magazine, La Domenica del Corriere, in 1972, along with the alleged photograph of Christ. The story caused a sensation and attracted the attention of the media, the public, and the Vatican. Many people were fascinated and curious about the Chronovisor and wanted to know more about it. Some people were skeptical and suspicious and wanted to verify its authenticity. Some people were outraged and offended and wanted to condemn it as a blasphemy. The controversy soon escalated when critics pointed out that the photograph of Christ looked very similar to a postcard image of a wooden sculpture from a church in Collevalenza, Italy. They also noticed that the design of the Chronovisor resembled a device from a 1947 science fiction novel by René Barjavel called Le Voyageur Imprudent, the Imprudent Traveler. They accused Father Ernetti of fabricating the whole story and of plagiarizing the novel and the postcard. They demanded that he provide more evidence and details about his invention and that he allow independent experts to examine and test it. Father Ernetti, however, refused to comply with these demands. He said that he had destroyed the Chronovisor and all the films and documents related to it to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. He said that the Chronovisor was too dangerous and powerful, and that it could be used for evil purposes, such as spying, blackmailing, or manipulating history. He also said that he had taken a vow of silence and that he could not reveal the names of the other scientists who were involved in the project, or the location and the date of the experiments. He said that he had only spoken about the Chronovisor to warn the world about the perils of tampering with the past and to inspire the faith in the truth of Christianity. Father Ernetti's silence and secrecy only added more fuel to the fire of the controversy. Some people believed that he was hiding something and that he was part of a conspiracy or a cover-up. Some people speculated that the Chronovisor was not destroyed, but hidden or stolen, and that it was still in use by some secret organization or agency. Some people wondered if the Chronovisor was not a time machine, but a portal to another dimension or a parallel universe, and that it had opened a Pandora's box of unknown consequences. The mystery of Father Ernetti and his Chronovisor deepened even more when he reportedly confessed on his deathbed in 1994 that he had lied about his invention and that the photograph of Christ was a fake. However, this confession was disputed by some of his friends and supporters, who claimed that he was forced or tricked into making it by some enemies or agents who wanted to discredit him and his work. They argued that Father Ernetti was a sincere and honest man who had devoted his life to the study of music and physics and who had no motive or reason to deceive the world. They also pointed out that he had never profited or benefited from his story and that he had suffered from the attacks and the criticisms that he had faced. One of the most prominent defenders of Father Ernetti was Father François Brune, a French priest and a writer who had met and befriended Father Ernetti in the 1960s and who had written a book about the Chronovisor called Le Nouveau Mystère du Vatican, The New Mystery of the Vatican, in 2002. In his book, Father Brun claimed that he had seen and touched the Chronovisor and that he had witnessed some of its demonstrations. He also claimed that he had seen some of the films and documents that Father Ernetti had produced with the Chronovisor and that he had verified their authenticity. He also claimed that he had interviewed some of the other scientists who were involved in the project and that they had confirmed Father Ernetti's story. He also claimed that the Chronovisor was not destroyed but confiscated by the Vatican and that it was kept in a secret vault under the control of a powerful and mysterious group called the P2, Propaganda Due, a Masonic lodge that had infiltrated the church and the state and that had been involved in many scandals and crimes. Father Brun's book sparked a new wave of interest and debate about the Chronovisor and inspired many researchers and investigators to look for more clues and evidence about it. Some of them claimed to have found new witnesses and documents that supported Father Ernetti's story and that revealed new details and aspects about his invention. Some of them claimed to have uncovered new secrets and conspiracies that surrounded the Chronovisor and that involved the Vatican, the CIA, the KGB, the Nazis, the Templars, the Illuminati, and the aliens. Some of them claimed to have located and contacted the Chronovisor and to have communicated with it or even traveled with it to the past or the future. The truth about Father Ernetti and his Chronovisor, however, remains elusive and uncertain. The evidence and the arguments for and against his invention are inconclusive and contradictory. The witnesses and the experts are unreliable and biased. The facts and the fiction are blurred and mixed. The Chronovisor is a mystery that defies logic and reason, and that challenges our perception and understanding of time and reality. It is a mystery that fascinates and puzzles us, and that invites us to question and imagine. It is a mystery that is not over yet, and that is still being written by the people who believe in it and by the people who doubt it.